Hey guys, it is about 1 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and we are coming up on the end of the semester. So I really encourage you to go all out on your poetry presentation. Really be creative with that, and make it something to where you can have fun with it, and something that can be creative and original. And I look forward to seeing those. So I wanted to give you guys a bit of a review of the final. I'm looking at it on one screen, and I'm going to kind of review. I'm not going to give you the questions, but I am going to give you a review of what you need to study. It's over the literature. It's not over the research paper. It's over the literature. And so I'm going to go through. So if you want to get something to write with, so you can make notes, and then you should know what to study, maybe not what not to study. It has to be proctored. You can have somebody proctor it. I will give out the password that is needed right as you're taking your final, and so I don't give those out early. You cannot take the earliest you can take the final is on the first day of finals. That will be next Friday. That's Friday the 13th. That's when finals start. And so make sure you're paying attention to when the last day that you can take the final is, so you don't miss it. But let's review it. Question 1. Well, I say 1. They're all shuffled, but from what I'm looking at, there's going to be a question that deals with themes and short stories. So go through and review themes of the short stories we read. Next one. Let me click on it here. You will have to know examples of symbolism, metaphor, simile, and personification. Symbolism, metaphor, simile, and personification. You will need to know the characters of the Glass Menagerie. There is a question about setting, so know the setting of the short stories that we've read. There is a question that deals with the reliability of a narrator. There is another question about setting, so think about the stories that we've read where the setting has been significant, and so study those. There is a question about a symbol in a certain story, so symbolism. There's another question about symbolism, so kind of a trend here. Know those things from the short stories that we've read. We have not read a ton of stories, so it shouldn't be that hard to go through, or take, I don't say hard, but it shouldn't take, well, no, it shouldn't be hard, but it shouldn't take that long to go through the stories that we've read and know these things. And study these things, symbolism, the themes, and then to be able to have a simile, metaphor, and all that I said previously. There's going to be one that deals with real life in connection with a story. There is a question that deals with the ending of the Glass Menagerie. There is a question about tone. There's a question about tone in regards to the play. There is a question that deals with a certain story that the question is about the social and economic context in which the two main characters live. It's kind of a two-part question, and then it talks about the town. Again, the setting and what that represents. There is a question on imagery. There is another question about character analysis. You will give a plot summary for a specific story. And there's a question about foreshadowing. So, and that's it. There's 16 questions. That's it. So you'll go through, and the things that I noted here and mentioned here, go back and review those. It is English class. I do not go through and take off and nitpick the grammar, but if I can tell that you compose it like a text message, then I will take off. You do have to have a certain level of correct grammar and usage. So just make sure that I is always capitalized, Y-O-U is not the letter U. Let me see, what else? There are not any specific questions about poetry. It is all the short stories and the play. So if you go back and review the things that I mentioned in regards to the short stories and the play, then I think you'll be good to go. You cannot have any notes with this. No open book, no browser, no internet browser, just you and the computer. That's it. If you're using ProctorU, you need to get that set up, and let me know if you're using ProctorU, and then you can come up here and take it in our testing center if you would like. There's a lot of options for you to take the final. So if you need help on how to take the final, you can contact me. But we're getting towards the end, so hang in there and we will talk to you soon.